I am Maria Qamar. I go online as Hatecopy. I do art. I used to work as a copywriter at an ad agency, and I didn't particularly enjoy that role. And so I created a social media brand so that my teachers and employers wouldn't find me. When I first started, I found myself just like doodling during meetings, and I just kind of found myself spacing out. Then I got laid off, and that's when I kind of started drawing full-time with the attitude that if I was doing these creative things for all these big brands, why can't I just apply the same theory and practice to my own brand and see where it goes? The fact that I didn't come from an arts background or had any real formal education in painting, it was all self-taught from when I was like a baby. I grew up in Pakistan, and then I moved here when I was 9. So I used to get bullied a lot for my food, for my appearance, for my clothes. It scarred me as a kid, but I would go home and I would draw the day out. In the end of my comics, I would have the last word, so I would get my revenge. So I was kind of like my own superhero in a weird way, but that was kind of how I grew up dealing with my day-to-day as a kid. So naturally in my 20s, if I'm going through like, oh my God, this job, like whatever was going on, I went home and I was kind of like, okay, let me just do what I used to do. And it was therapeutic in a way to just go back and talk about my culture and where I came from. Trust No Auntie, the book itself, is about different generations of South Asian women having an open conversation about what we consider culture, what we consider tradition, and what is actually rooted in patriarchy. How do we let our families that are obviously very traditional, how do we let them know that, you know, I can be an artist and I can sustain myself, here is how, and have them believe you. All of that is inspired by either women that I've come across or women that I've lived with or women that I've been. It's a book that's satirical, but it gives some advice to somebody like me that was growing up without any real guidance as to what to do with their creative outlet. So it's essentially like me writing a book to my younger self. I didn't think anything I was doing resonated with anybody. Like I was literally making it for myself, essentially. Like it just became a way for other people to reach out and connect with me and say, oh my God, I went through the same thing. My following grew to like 10, 15,000, and it wasn't 10, 15,000 random people. It was 10, 15,000 like brown girls like me who were like, oh, this is so funny. Let's talk about it. For every successful campaign you see out there, there's like 5 that I've turned down just because they don't understand, even to this day, what inclusivity means. It's brands' responsibility and you know, advertisers to realize that, you know, nobody's gonna compromise on their culture anymore. You know, there's like 1 billion brown people on this planet. Like we're already out here. We're gonna be celebrating us the way we want to. And that's just how it's gonna be. You're either in it or you're not.